Welcome to Homebrew Magic, a video series about EDH where we do our best to build unique, fun, or just plain silly deck lists to play against each other, followed by a breakdown of how they did so we can all learn and get better at this game that we love.
What up, Hive Mind? It's your boy Tej. Woo! And tonight I'm coming in hot with Ganax, an agent of the Iron Throne.
I like it.
Yeah, it's treasures.
No upsets.
So I found a card in Tarkir Dragonstorm I wanted to throw in this deck, and then I sat down to throw the card into the deck, and I realized that I had a pile of cards dating all the way back to Bloomburrow I also wanted to put in the deck, and I just never got around to doing it. So this deck got more than one card change, a few from Bloomburrow, and even one from Aetherdrift. So a few new toys. Yeah, a few new toys to play with tonight. I'm excited to see how they work out. That's what we got.
Cool. Right.
Yeah.
And Schnell.
Mr. Schnell.
Well, I saw my game stats said that my win percentage has gone below 1/4, and since there's only 1/4 of us, I decided to buckle down and fuck around even harder. I built Arbaaz Myrrh. He is a 2-drop human assassin. Whenever he or another non-token historic permanent enters a battlefield under my control, he deals 1 damage to each opponent and I gain a life. We're going to learn the history of Magic because I don't pay attention to new sets anymore. Go ahead, Nelson.
I just decided I was going to play a deck I haven't played in quite some time, and I brought back Rayami, First of the Fallen.
Bitch.
This is my, I want all the counters on her deck.
Oh, yes.
All the great creatures die. And make
Everything in the deck needs to die.
make Rayami
so that
good.
make Rayami
Your
fucking
removal better
awesome.
be exile specific.
Yes, exactly.
Your creatures walk, so Rayami can run.
Exactly. Chris, what about you?
I took a page out of Tej's book
Yeah.
and took an existing deck and just threw a new commander at the helm of it.
All right.
This is my Angry Enchantress deck, tonight being run by Wildsear Scouring Maw. They are a 6/6 elemental wolf with trample for 5. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade.
Oh, damn.
This is just...
This is Clothis?
It is.
Okay.
It was.
Well,
It
sorry,
were.
yes.
He just said
Where it used
different
to be,
commander.
where it used to be Clothis?
Yep.
It's Wild Bear now. That's the Elemental Wolf.
Yep.
Wow, fire.
I had to mulligan down to 5 for this game. I will start by drawing a card.
For the record, I mulliganed up to 7.
My land for the turn is going to be Riveteer's Outlook. I'm going to go search for a forest and gain a life.
Oh god, there's
Go ahead, Tej.
Sexual healing. I will draw for my turn. I will... What? Oh, thank you.
Just immediately, what the fuck you do? Oh, ending
Why you
Chris's
look at my
turn.
phone?
Don't touch my
Why you
shit.
look at my phone?
Oh, I did it wrong.
I will play an Evolving Wilds. I will pass to Schnell, and I will activate my Wilds.
Untap with keep draw.
Out to my Wilds.
After my wilds. Plains will be my land for the turn, passing to Nelson.
Alright, I will draw for the
It's
turn.
very French of you.
Yeah. Add letters and then don't pronounce them.
Yep.
And then wee myself.
My land for turn will
It's
be
just milk.
a
It's
just milk.
morphic pool.
You gotta give.
I will tap that morphic pool for an expedition map, and I will pass the turn to my friend Chris.
Alrighty. Well, let's go draw. Mountain. I'll pay 2. 4, and I'll go the Enchantress. Pass turn.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Schnell.
What?
Hurry up.
Okay.
Oh god, the clock's ticking.
You're taking
Draw.
too long.
Oh, that's a good one. I like it. Land for turn will be a mountain. And then with those 2 lands, I'm going to play a Flywheel Racer.
What?
It's a 3/2 vehicle with vigilance. I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color, but only if it is a creature, and it crews for 1.
From March of the Machine. It's kind of a
That's
nifty
true.
little
I'm
vehicle.
happy to see you running that one.
Yeah.
Ugh. Land for the turn, commander for the turn. When he enters the battlefield, he will deal 1 point to each opponent, and I gain 1 life.
All opponents.
That's whenever something historic comes into play in your
Whenever
control.
he or a non-token historic permanent enters the battlefield. That'll be it for me. Go ahead, Nelson.
Untap. Let's draw for
First blood,
turn.
he must die.
I mean, I get it. I hate me too.
Land for turn will be a Temple of Mystery, which will enter tapped. I will scry. Sure, we'll keep that on top. I will pass to Chris.
Untap. Draw.
I need to get that goddamn song stuck out of my head now.
You are not alone. Yeah, sticks.
I don't even know where it came from. Were you singing it, or was I just randomly singing?
I don't know
it?
why.
you were-
I
I
think
think it
it
was
popped
just
into my
you.
head
Okay.
somehow.
I will cast Weaver of Harmony.
Hey, I like that card.
I will draw a card. From our Guardian Enchantress. Other enchantment creatures I control get +1/+1. And for a green and tap, copy target activated or triggered ability you control from an enchantment source. Land for the turn will be
Earlier
an
today,
Evolving Wilds, and I will pass.
I was randomly singing "Losing My Religion," and then I couldn't remember why. And it was 2 days ago. I was listening to 10 Years, and they have a cover of it.
Ah, they do.
So of course, 2 days later,
Yesterday I was in the vehicle with my son. And he said, "Look, Rem is on the radio. I love these guys." And I'm like, "You son of a bitch. I hate you so much."
I'm so old.
I'm going to play a Terminal Moraine and just pass my turn and then activate it.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
Get
Stites
out of
not
my car.
impressed.
Finn,
Get out of my car. And back into my dreams.
You, sir, are no shiny, happy person.
Land for the turn. Land for the turn. Plains. We will go Basilica Spellbomb. It is an artifact, so everyone takes a point of damage, and I gain 1 life.
I like those new spell bombs.
I'm sorry, Skull Bomb.
Or Skull Bomb, sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
the
think
Skull
I
Bomb
really
new
read
ones,
those.
They were neat little commons.
They're not great, but in this deck, they seem to do the thing I want. I will, deal my point to everyone and pass to Nelson.
What does that one do?
I can pay 1 and sack it to draw a card, or I can pay a white and 2, target sacking it. Target creature I control gets +2/+2 and gains flying until the end of the turn. Draw a card. Activate at sorcery speed only.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, they're neat little utility.
I'm going to pay 2 and crack my map. And I'm going to find, hopefully...
Crack my map. Crack my map.
Crack my map.
Map my crack.
I'm putting a Zagoth...
my crack.
I'm going to smack my cracking. I'm putting a Zagoth Triumph into my hand. I'm going to be playing that land and then passing the turn, so while I shuffle, Chris, you can
Right.
go.
Land for the turn is a Roadside Reliquary.
I like that land.
Then I will, for combat, Nelson, 2.
Sure.
2 non-commandy.
Fucking pick on the guy who doesn't have a board state.
Yeah.
No, I know that's how the game works.
Yeah.
You and I both don't have a board
Same
state.
math
It's
for
okay.
rodeo.
Go ahead, teach
He's
me.
got to get someone.
You got a creature out there.
I don't. I have a
doesn't have a
vehicle.
vehicle.
Oh, a vehicle. Yeah.
That can only tap for mana if it is crewed.
Vehicles ain't people.
Behold,
That's true.
no people. So this guy's a person.
That crew. I'm person. I'm stupidly excited for that companion map. But
Yeah, it looks really
that's-
good.
It does look really good.
Very.
It turned out excellent.
I'm gonna play a Battered Golem. 3/2 Golem that doesn't untap during my untap step, but whenever an artifact comes into play, I can untap Battered Golem.
Combo piece, you say?
Very combo piece.
No.
What?
No.
Otherwise, garbage card.
Garbage card.
Probably there because I like it.
I love it. Pass turn.
Before the end of your turn, I'm going to flash in Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Land for the turn will be this Plains. Let's get some Lembas out there. When it enters the battlefield, everyone takes a point. I gain a life.
This is what it's like playing against my decks.
Yep.
Alright, sir.
I get to scry 1 and then draw a card.
What does Containment Priest do?
If a non-token creature enters the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead.
Okay.
It tries to promote fair and balanced magic. Furnace Skull Bomb. Everyone takes a point and I gain a life. This one is 1, sacrifice it, draw a card, or red and 1, put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature you control, then draw a card at sorcery speed. Go ahead, Nelson. I won't go to combat and attack you unprovoked.
Thank you.
Please provoke me.
Untap, upkeep, and
Provoke me, Daddy.
Let's see. We're gonna go with a Deathcap Glade, which will enter untapped because I control 2 or more other lands. I'm gonna pay 4. I'm gonna cast my commander. I'm going to cast Stonecoil Serpent for X is 0.
Boo.
It's got a blood counter on it. She now has reach, trample, and protection from multicolored.
How big is she?
5/4.
5'4".
Yeah. Okay. Pass turn. Go, Chris.
Reach, trample, protection from multicolored.
Yes.
For 0 mana. Seems okay.
I mean, he lost his Stonecoil Serpent, though. That's a pretty big loss.
Yeah, it's not in the graveyard. She gone.
Gone for air.
David Drummond.
I was
gonna say,
you got it right.
Maybe he was just reaching for something during the song.
Oh, that's true.
Drop that.
I don't know what he looks like. Is he fat?
Cast Xenagos and
Not
draw a
overly,
card.
but
Did you guys know Shakira was white? Or at the very least not black? I didn't know that. I learned that like 2 days ago.
I believe she's
like
Latino.
She's
that's what my
Colombian.
wife said.
Yeah, Colombian, right? Yeah.
I have known that for a very long time.
Smoking hot.
Yeah.
According to all of my posters and my telephoto lens.
Pass turn.
You know who else is hot? Kylie Minogue.
Still.
Yeah,
I also
still.
don't know who that is.
All them years later.
Lady Astrid from the Titanic episode of Doctor Who. She was the...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go. See?
Got it. Thank you.
Relate to him in terms he understands.
Fucking nerd. I am going to go 1, 2, 3, tap that to crew 4. And I'm going to play my brand new dragon, Scavenger Regent. It is a 4/4 with flying and ward. Discard a card. It's also in there for the Exude Toxin sorcery, which is X and 2 black, and each non-dragon creature gets -X until end of turn. But Nelson's commander is too big for me to wipe the board, which was what I was initially going to do. So I'm playing defensively. Pastor.
For the end of turn, I'm going to activate the first ability of Furnace Skullbomb, paying 1, sacrificing it, and drawing a card. Untap, upkeep, draw for the turn. Land for the turn will be this plane. Traveler's Amulet, that is historic. Everyone takes a point. I gain a point.
I will untap Battered Golem.
What? My stuff too? God! That's fair. Boo, 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 boo. We're going to sacrifice the Basilica to draw a card. That's different-ish.
Lambus.
Tis. That one's pay 2 and sack it, and when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, shuffle it into their library. We're going to keep that for when Cheech tries to mill us out through random combo. Go ahead, Nelson.
Mill?
You've done it before.
Not with this deck.
You put new cards in, we don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm deck colorblind.
Alright, untap. Draw.
I am Shakira colorblind.
She's
Hot in any color.
I'm going to play a forest as my land for the turn. I'm going to pay 5. And I'm going to cast Majestic Myriarch. Power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures I control, which is 2. It's a 2/2. At the beginning of each combat, Majestic Myriarch gains flying until end of turn if I control a creature with flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance.
We're gonna have to double check that list throughout the game.
That's fair. That was
Said a
Nelson's
lot of
keyword he knows.
syllables really quick.
I didn't hear protection.
No.
No, not him. Not that one. Go, Chris.
Cinderblade will enter untapped because I control 2 or more basics. 1, 2.
This deck is gonna pad my stats if nothing else because I've already dealt 15.
Yeah, you've done a lot of work so far. Whereas my treasure deck has no treasures.
I don't think I run a single saga in this deck because I couldn't find one that I liked.
I'll cast my commander. 6/6 trample. Enchantment spells you cast from your hand have Cascade.
Wild Bear, Elemental Wolf.
Beginning combat on my turn. Another target creature you control gains haste and +X until end of turn, where X is that creature's power.
Neat.
So now it's a 12/12. That is a triggered ability, right? Because it states a specific time at the beginning of combat on your
At
turn.
the beginning of each combat. You said each combat, correct?
Beginning of combat on your turn.
Oh, okay. At each combat on your turn.
Mine is each combat. Miriark at each combat.
That's what
his
I
is at the beginning of combat on his turn,
Right.
which is still
But both of your things have
Yes.
triggered.
correct.
Got it. Was that not the question that was asked? I'm sorry.
No,
He was making-
this is a
he's
trigger.
doing
His own trigger.
Oh, got it. Okay.
He's triggering himself.
Because
Trigger.
he can copy it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could make it an 18 trample haste. That seems mean, and I don't want to irritate
Do it.
everybody.
If you kill someone quickly, we could play a second game today with your short schedule.
I'm just going to throw this out there, though. Every time you kill me quickly, the game lasts another 2 hours.
We could test that theory by trying it again.
You have to work in the morning.
Yeah. Let's play more aggressive. I mean, I've already dealt everyone 15. Collectively, but still.
You are life leader.
I am life leader.
Please swords this. Sure, we'll copy that.
Okay.
I will attack you with 18.
Okay.
Here it comes.
I will path it to exile.
Okay.
It's not a swords.
It's not a swords.
Oh.
You get a basic land tapped.
There it is.
Don't you ever fucking come at me again unless you're sure.
I was relatively sure. Faster.
No, you're targeting what's beyond.
I was gonna save Path to Exile for Rayami, but not anymore. Schnell learned how to deck build with answers. Uh-oh.
I am going to...
Also,
Yes.
Tej and Nelson were the better targets because they were tapped out.
I know. I was looking strictly at life totals.
That's not a good measure of,
I know.
responses. Because Tej always has goddamn Chaos Board, but if he's tapped out...
There were other things.
For the
Chaos
end of your
Board,
turn.
man,
I know, I'm just...
Historically, I do smash him all about the heads and face, and I had already hit Nelson once this game.
Before the end of your turn, I'm going to pop Traveler's Hamlet, search my library for a basic land reveal, put it in my hand, then shuffle. I'm going to grab this mountain. It is a
Been
glorious
revealed.
mountain.
Been revealed.
Just for that, I'm probably going to ping everyone next turn.
Probably.
I mean, I might not. I'm running out of historics already. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Land for the turn. Mountain. How about that? Then next.
Mondrak.
Tali. Primal Storm. It's a legendary creature. That's historic. Everyone takes one.
It is historic.
And then I gain one. Doesn't have haste though, and doesn't have an ETB. Go Nelson, go.
All right.
Now I'm the biggest threat.
Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Land for turn will be a Darkwater Catacombs. I'm going to pay 2, and I'm going to cast Neoform, targeting the Majestic Myriarch.
Oh.
So I'm going to sacrifice it. I'm going to choose it, I guess. I'm not targeting it with the spell, but I'm going to sacrifice it, and then I get to search my library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus its CMC, which is 5. So I'll be looking for a 6-drop creature.
I'm going to read how Rayami actually works. If a non-token creature would die, exile that card with a blood counter. As long as an exiled card with a blood counter on it has flying, Rayami has flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Protection, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Okay. And what did that have printed on it?
That had nothing printed on it.
That's what I thought. $5 says Nelson forgot about my Containment Priest.
No bet.
Okay.
I did forget about your Containment Priest, but also I failed to find. I thought I had.
Oh my god.
I also must have. Something's not right. There's supposed to be a Kefnet in here. I hope. I didn't even count to see it.
Is it in your hand?
Is it in your back?
Okay.
There should be a Kefnet, a Thomas. That would be Ronus, but one Teach told me he had a copy of it for me. Ronus to Thomas.
Check,
I got
check your deck box.
I did. It's not in there. I checked when I pulled it out. So.
What about the deck box?
Count how many cards are in your library real quick.
Probably. I must have not.
1, 2, 3,
10, 11.
87.
Set. That's. You should have 85.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I miscounted then.
Okay. Well, we'll figure this.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll figure out which way the asterisk goes.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Then
You found a Kefnet. It got exiled with Containment Priest. That's how we fixed it.
Ah! It's in there.
Leave me alone. You're pro multicolored?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to pay 3 and 6 life.
Ooh.
And I'm going to cast Toxic Deluge.
No.
Toxic Deluge.
Everything gets -6, -6.
I know what it does.
Yes,
I've never seen this.
I know what it does. He's not gonna actually stop.
He's going to
I'm gonna deadly dispute my own dragon. Sacrifice it, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure. I'm okay with what happened. I just want to use my creature. Treasure. So it begins.
and then I will pass the turn to Chris.
All right.
You checking your deck list?
Yep.
So by my count, you're running 102 cards.
Unless I...
Did you count those 2 when
I
you were
did.
counting? No, did
Oh.
Nelson count those 2 when you were counting your library?
no, I didn't.
Oh boy.
No, I did.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Season of Renewal. Choose one or both. Return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. Return target enchantment from your graveyard to your hand.
Oh.
Choose these.
That's both.
Tej, in response to his Toxic Deluge, I did tap my creature and crew your vehicle, so it was a creature when Toxic Deluge was
Shit. Oh god. Can you do that?
No one says I couldn't.
Oh. Well,
Mom says I could.
Flywheel Racer has Pro Deluge.
It has pro locked doors, so no one else can crew it without the key.
Mm-hmm. Pastor?
Doors are as gaping as your mom. Draw.
That would be interesting to see vehicles that could be, like, their crewing cost is much lower, but any player could just crew them. Or they're much higher, and anyone can actually crew them and then take control of them for the turn.
Now we're cooking with fire.
Like,
1,
I could
2,
see
3,
it's,
4,
I
5,
want that to
6,
be a
7.
creature. I could crew it for 1 rather than 2.
They had that back in
That's
Master
right.
Block, didn't they? Any player may play this, or
Yeah,
may
it's-
activate this ability.
Yeah, they've had those abilities on enchantments and stuff in the past, and then Prophecy had a bunch of stupid crap.
Oh, you know what? I bet they're all in here. I just wasn't looking at the CMC. It's 3. I thought their CMC. The gods were higher.
Okay.
I was just looking for 6 CMC, so I bet all 3 of them are in here.
Okay.
Fair enough. Land for the turn will be this mountain.
I bet it's on their card list.
I will recast my commander. You all take a point. I gain a point.
All opponents.
And then we will Mind Stone. Everyone takes a point. I gain a point. And then we will pass to Nelson.
Untap, upkeep, and draw.
Fucks with these cameras just a bit. God, I have a game changer in this deck.
MILF.
I think I have 1 game changer in this
Man,
deck.
I like artifacts.
So I was going through old shit on my phone that I had made, and I found the meme I made with the cat reading the newspaper that just said, I should build a new deck. Followed immediately by the guy pointing to himself in the mirror saying, you have hundreds of thousands of cards. Stop building artifact decks. I ignored that second meme.
I'm going to recast my commander and pass the turn to Chris.
Okay.
Guess who's back?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bitch, who's back?
Oh, shit.
Hmm?
Everything that died to Toxic Deluge should have been exiled with Rayami. I wasn't thinking.
That's fine.
So Rayami gains Flash and then
Oh.
nothing relevant for mine, so I'm just going to exile him there.
That sucks.
Well, doesn't Natalia have flying?
Tali doesn't have flying.
It's a big.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Dino.
it's a dinosaur, not a
You're
dragon.
thinking
Sorry.
of Zapalta.
Yeah,
I would've
thank
done
you.
this-
Yeah, it's a Zapalta, the white one.
Oh yeah, that F's Chris's
Whole
play.
last turn.
Oh, sorry.
Because these wouldn't even be in my graveyard to target
Oh,
with
shit.
the season of renewal.
They're all exiled with blood counters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You want to take your season back?
Take your season
Yeah,
back.
take your
Save it
season
for
back.
later?
Save it for later.
So do something else from last turn.
That's gone too.
Okay, so indestructible, that matters. This doesn't have anything. This doesn't have anything. So you just keep them exiled by you. Does this have flying? This is flying. This one, you can.
Okay, so Chris, fix your last turn. What would you have done else?
Probably nothing.
Okay.
Good. It's been fixed.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And now your actual this turn. Nelson's responsible for 2 Astracees on this game. No, it's fine.
I probably should
Now
have
cast
deck
Smoke.
list again.
Smoke.
Oh, I love
Each
that
player
card.
can only untap 1 creature during their untap.
I love smoke.
Then I'm going to crack Roadside Reliquary and draw 2 cards.
Smoke is a great card.
Get smoked.
Get smoked.
Yeah, smoking yet.
Plus, last turn.
End of your turn. I'm going to cast Unexpected Windfall. As additional cost, cast a spell, discard a card. I'm going to discard this Swiftfoot Boot. I'm going to draw 2 cards and
Keeping
create
the other boot.
2 treasure tokens. I have 3 treasure tokens. How's that? I draw. Ah, yes. Cards. That guy too. Land for turn will be a Graven Cairns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why are you there? Go away.
That's the stack. It just hasn't left the stack.
I shouldn't have played a land yet, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll go down to 2 treasures. Now I'll play Bolus's Citadel.
Oofda.
That's a good card.
I can look at the top card of my library anytime. I can play the top card of my library. If I cast a spell this way, I pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than pay its mana cost. And I can tap the Citadel and sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life. So keep those drains coming, Chanel.
Trying to.
I'm gonna look at the top part of my library. I know what it is. It's there. I will.
Listen to me eat Cheez-Its.
Pass turn.
Before the end of your turn, I'm gonna pay 1 and tap and sack Mind Stone to draw a card. Untap, draw a card. Upkeep, draw for the turn. Ugh.
I just wrote it down that way. I won't forget to.
Fair.
It's easier than having to read multiple cards to figure out what.
Pyromancer's Assault. Whenever I cast my second spell each turn, Pyromancer's Assault deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Then we will play our second. We'll cast our second spell for the turn. I will deal 2 to Teach directly, since he is threat leader.
To my last points.
And then everyone will take 1, and I will gain 1 off of the Ornithopter being an historic permanent. Then, do we have anything else we would like to do, going to do, not to do? Pass to you.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep and draw for turn.
What? Am I doing something wrong?
No. I need to think faster. The problem is me. It's not you.
Oh. Are we breaking up?
I'm going to pay 3 and cast Glissa the Traitor. 3/3 first strike and death touch. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, I may return target artifact card from my graveyard to my hand.
Combo? Well, because the second ability...
Expedition map, whole bunch of swords.
But the we're never having creatures go to the graveyard with your commander.
I know,
exiling them
but
instead.
as long as she's on the board, that's okay. I'm talking about non-creature artifacts that could be destroyed that I might want back. Or it's something that gives me repeatable value, like an expedition map.
Whenever a creature an opponent controls is put to the graveyard from the
put into
battlefield.
the Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Okay, I
that's...
gotta pull that out of there.
No,
Replace it with a cabinet.
Yeah, that would be a solid...
Really fucking jokes are flying tonight, boys.
Fuck you.
I'm going to move to combat, and I'm going to swing at Schnell with a 5/4 flying indestructible reach trample protection from multi-color.
I will take 5 commander damage from that. Not a fan. Don't do it again.
I'm at 23, and I've been hit by a creature. I guess I paid 6 life though with Toxic Dagger.
You did.
I was like,
You
I've only
did.
been hit by 1 creature.
You did.
Your deck is
You
just paper cutting the piss out of me.
You did. You as hard as
At the
I
end of
could.
your turn, I'm going to cycle Forgotten Cave. That does not help. Going to pay 2 to cast Sanctum Weaver. Two, 4. 1, 2, 3. And I'll cast Valakut Awakening.
Nice.
Put 4 cards from my hand on the bottom of my library and draw that many +1.
It's a great card. I should run that in this one. But I usually play out my entire hand and then sit there going, God, I wish I had more card draw. That would be 3 mana for 1 card draw.
You would draw one. Yeah. There's no
Let me
downside.
finish my stupid thoughts.
There's no downside.
I'm right there with you.
Valakut Awakening is in every single red deck I have.
I know.
I love that
Monster
card.
Valley.
But you always have a Mitful, so then you just swap a Mitful. For me, that's the 1 card. And then it would just be, hey, here's a card you would have drawn had you not played this card. But now you're down 3 mana.
Yeah, but think of the potential.
It could be anything.
Think of what could have
It
been.
could have even been the card you wanted to draw.
Alright, boys, let's have some fun. This is a fun card.
Wolf Bear?
Overabundance.
Oh.
Whenever a player taps land for mana, that player adds 1 additional mana to his or mana pool of the same type, and Overabundance deals 1 damage to him or her.
I like it.
Start tapping them lanes.
I'm on board with this plan.
Fester.
Pass turn. Untap.
Sounds like something a life leader would say.
Yeah.
Draw.
Life leader with moderate life gain each round. Oh, fine.
No,
Because you have both
yeah,
Citadel.
I know what I'm
That
doing.
was just...
I understand.
I got immediately upset and then remembered
I
Boyd's
know what it
stick.
looked like, but...
Oh, I knocked this card off my deck. Wonder what it was. Because the cards allow me to know.
Alright, I add 2 mana, but lose 1 life every time I tap a land.
Yes.
C. Danaba.
It's not one that land can produce, though. It is the same one that you did produce with the land.
That's fine.
Semantics, but might matter.
Semantics, but...
Semantics, but...
I'm going to...
Is that a foil too?
It is.
2,
Thank you.
4, 6, 7. I'll take 3. I'm going to cast Reckless Endeavor. I'm going to roll 2d12 and choose 1 result. Reckless Endeavor deals damage equal to that result to each creature. Then I create a number of treasure tokens equal to the other result.
Listen.
What? You're 12.
Maybe. Oh, wow. Should I also look
Nope,
at 12?
we got it.
You good? I was ready with a D10.
Got an 8 and a 12.
Fuck it. Well, that's nice.
I'm going to do 8 damage to every creature.
Would you like a food?
I'll take a food.
Okay.
Wait.
Crumb and get it. Target creature. I'm gonna promise you a food.
Wait,
I'll gift you. Gift you a food. Target creature I control gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn.
No.
If food was promised.
No.
Uh.
This is resolving. You can't cast that now.
What?
Yes, you have to cast it before I roll the dice.
You rolled the dice too fast.
You did that thing too fast.
Fair.
8 damage to everything.
I'm gonna crumb and get you.
Crumb and get it, bitch.
Alright, so that doesn't have any keywords, so you can just put it in the exile pile.
Flying, you already have.
I already have, yep. So now she's got First Strike and Death Touch. Need any keywords?
I had nothing that died. So do. I'm gonna pay another 2 life.
Damn, dude.
No, 1 life. To cast The Last Ride from the top of my library. It's my Aether Drift card.
Ooh.
The Last Ride gets -X, where X is my life total.
The Undertaker show up.
But I can pay 2 and a black and pay 2 life to draw a card.
Abs cost 4 more.
I'll do this because I'm
So
allowed
it would
to.
die if you were to crew it.
Correct.
Got it.
Really good.
Good enough to do now? Yes. I'll pay 3 more life. And I will cast Crime Novelist. Whenever I sacrifice an artifact, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and I add a red mana. And that can stay there for later. Pass turn.
Alright, on your end step, I'm going to pay 3. Oh my god, am I taking...
Three.
Taking 3, right? Okay.
Basically, 1 for each land tapped.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how...
But your lands tap for an extra mana for whatever they produced.
Yeah, so let's just say green, blue, and then we'll just say that one's black. So I've got 6. I take 3 damage, but I've got 6 mana, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way? Fuck.
What?
Okay, so yeah, I think I can do it this way. I'm going to cast Beast Within. I'm going to target the Citadel, holding priority. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Crows and Grip with the other 3 mana, targeting the overabundance.
Okay.
Okay.
So Crows and Grip resolves, destroying overabundance.
And then Beast Within is
Beast
targeting
Within is targeting Bolus's Citadel.
Correct.
In response to that, we'll look one more time.
Peak.
I'm going to activate Bolus's Citadel, sacrificing 10 treasures. Each opponent will lose 10 life.
Oh, but I'm your opponent.
Yep. Leaving you with 3 treasures total.
I forgot it does that too.
And then
Crime Novelist
gets
plus
10,
10, yeah.
10 plus 1 plus 1 counters.
10 counters.
Right.
And I have 10 red mana.
Nothing I can do to stop that.
Actually, I'm going to give myself 1 treasure back and sacrifice Bolus's Citadel to itself.
Oh.
9 treasures and the Bolus's Citadel. So I'm not going to get a beastie. But I still have 10 red mana. And if I don't use it, I lose it.
Is it true?
It is true.
What a wild game. I cannot keep anything in my board.
We wanted a game too, so we wanted to play quick.
Oh, show.
So I built low to the ground artifact eggs.
Oh. Each opponent loses 10 life. With 10 red mana, I will Chaos Warp your commander. 7 left.
Whenever I cast my second spell, I shock
something.
something.
And then what's that other thing?
Lumba Spread is pay 2, sack it, gain 3, and when it goes in the graveyard from the battlefield, I shuffle it into my library.
Got it.
Nelson gets something over here. Land.
Woodland Cemetery.
I'll kill Lambus too. With a braid, destroy an artifact.
I will, in response, sack it to gain 3 life and shuffle it in.
Got it. That's alright, it's going now.
Can't hurt anyone.
Can't hurt anyone. Alright, I am gonna let the rest of my mana go. Oh, wait, no. I have 5 left.
How many takebacks are we allowing per game?
I don't know. I've had too many. So
You've used up all of them. I'm sorry, Teach. Tables out of do-overs.
So the community
black.
pool of do-overs.
Yeah.
Lose 2,
It's
draw a
not
card.
fallow.
Go ahead.
Okay. Untap. Keep. Draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Recast my commander. Everyone takes a point. I gain a life. Land for the turn is the Great Furnace. That is a non-token historic permanent. Everyone takes 1. I gain a life.
This is what I've been doing to
Thor
people
has
with
not
Dina.
moved.
Yep.
He's just been
He's-
perched there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yep. And then we're gonna Great Furnace for a red. I'm gonna Magma Spray Teej for 2. It's the second spell I cast this turn, so I'm gonna deal 2 damage to Teej's face right away.
What does Magma Spray do?
2 damage, and if you die, you're exiled instead.
If I die?
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm dealing 2 to that.
If you die, you gotta walk
You're
home.
doing 2 damage to
I'm
my...
doing 2 to that and 2 to your guy. If he dies, he gets exiled this turn. I'm only dealing him 2, but I'm doing it so I can hit you for 2.
Yes, I see. Okay.
Because you might have enemies. at
I
this
might
time.
have a response.
Okay.
I'm going to sacrifice 1 treasure.
We're gonna offset the 2 damage by making him a 36 power, 36 toughness.
That's going to get him a counter and add a red. And I'm going to play Untimely Malfunction. I'm going to change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. I'm going to target that thing.
What? Okay, then I will crow and get it, and I'm not even going to give you a food this time.
You promised.
Nope.
What does that one do?
+2/+2. If I feed someone, it also gains indestructible.
I want to cast this again. No, alright.
Okay. So you're still taking 2.
I'm still taking 2.
End of.
But I tried to take out your guy as well.
Yep, nope. Go Nelson.
All right.
Kick Teej's ass.
Why?
Because you're life leader ignoring me. And Chris.
Draw for turn.
You're a life leader over Nelson. You're obviously a threat to Nelson.
You have a 12 power goblin. And you hit everyone for 30. Even I didn't
Can't
do that.
recast my
I hit
creature.
everyone for 10.
Total though.
So I guess I'll tap this for green. Cast a Bird's Paradise, because that's really going to block for me.
He's ramping.
I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay 2 and cast a Nature's Lore. That's going to find me. What's the fucking Overgrown Tomb. I have the Triumph. Overgrown Tomb. I'm just saying this because
Rainforest. Nope, that's a fetch land. Breeding ground. Breeding something. Breeding pool.
Breeding Pool is the blue-green one.
The black-green is over.
Oh, black green?
Overgrown
Tomb.
Tomb.
Overgrown
Yeah,
Tomb.
that's what I said. I'm gonna get over. So this is gonna be Overgrown Tomb.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
also gonna be playing Kodama's Reach, and I'm gonna get. I just wanted to tell
That's-
you guys.
no,
what
that's
I'm gonna
fine.
Get.
Yeah.
So that ends my turn. I'm just gonna find my manners.
Okay. That's a lot of manners.
Yeah, but I don't have another turn.
Not with that attitude.
Okay. Land for the turn is a Bloodstained Admirer. What can we do?
Skip onto the battlefield.
2, 3.
But yes,
Setessan Champion.
this is accidentally just
Island into my hand.
Borostina.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's working a lot better than I thought it was going to do. Still no sagas.
Woman of the Hunt. Put a woman counter on Setessan Champion and I draw a card.
Of course, Overgrown Tomb is the top plane. Tap my dick. Tap my dick.
I heard it too.
Yeah, tap it off. Tap that dick.
You tap to shuffle. Forest. Into play tapped.
Chris, how are you going to fix this mess? That
I
is
can't do
Teej.
anything about anything.
I don't like how I'm the mess. I have one giant creature.
You have one giant creature, and then a 13/13, and then
No, it is a -16, -16. So there.
oh, it's just card draw for you at this point.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. There you go, sir.
I will.
If I seen this thing, went, why would I run the CH? I got 3 to draw. Yeah, it's arguably quicker than greed.
Then I will cast a
Because
Goblin.
greed is 4 and then
Necromancer.
2 to activate. And
Yeah. But I can also crew at instant speed.
And then
Like
pass
with
the
that
turn.
battered golem.
yeah.
I can crew it and then get an artifact out and untap it.
So
and
I'm going to search for a land and then
response
pass
to it,
and
so
then
you
pass the turn.
continue to crew it. End of your turn. Am I still getting double mana? No. So
No, Nelson stopped all that good stuff.
sack 1 treasure. Get 1 here, 1 red, final red. Pay 2 life. Draw a card. Untap. Draw a card. I found my lands, guys.
Damn it.
They're all coming up.
Oh, it comes into play. Untap. What am I do?
What's your red-green guy over there do? Just cheaper
Each
spells?
spell you cast that's red or green costs 1 less.
Pretty good. I had a Hearthstone in here for a while until I realized it was only creatures activated abilities.
Yeah.
Like, oh, with all the little like pay 1, sack, and draw effects.
Yeah, I almost made the same mistake with my Tazri deck.
It was sleeved for about 8 minutes, and then I read it again. Because, or more accurately, I went, I wonder if this It was errated or oracled to help my opponent's activated abilities as well. What do you mean only creatures? Get the fuck out of here.
Why are you in the command zone, Abraid? What is happening?
You were on tilt because I dealt you 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm telling you, malfunction's going there too. The problem is, I'm going to play one of my commanders. It is Agent of the Iron Throne.
That is a problem.
One, two, three. Commander creatures I own have, whenever an artifact or creature I control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Do you have a way to get 37 more treasures in here?
No.
Leave me alone. Now, Skeeter, I ain't hurting nobody. I am hurting everybody.
1 treasure. 1 red.
1 damage.
No.
His commander's not out yet.
Oh, that's right.
My
It's
creature
I
commander.
forgot. Yeah, creature commanders.
3.
Yeah, I did enjoy that show.
Now Ganax.
Creature Commanders on HBO.
Whenever Ganax or another dragon enters the battlefield under my control, I create a treasure. And back up to 2.
I have a 2/2.
You have a 2/2.
I have a 2/4.
You are tapped out.
I am. Now's the time.
I think I am just going to attack you, Schnell. 12,
14?
13, 14.
Okay. No blocks, no tricks, no answers.
Alright, I did my part. Pass.
Untap. Upkeep, nothing. Draw. Interesting. We will Soul Guide Lantern. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. A braid. Put it back in your command zone.
Okay.
Everyone will take a point.
Yep.
I will gain a life. I will pay 1, tap and sack Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. Not bad. But not anything else I can do. I can cast a second spell this turn.
If I could turn back time.
Go ahead, Nelson.
If I could find a way.
Alright, untap. Upkeep, draw for turn. Island, moving on land for the turn. I need 8. 1,
have
2,
46.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. 8. To recast my commander. Pass turn, go Chris.
Okay. I have 2 mana up, so I can't do that. Okay. Alright.
Let's say we're doing well on time for this one.
Untap. Draw. That's not what I wanted to see. I will pay 3 mana, sacrifice this to scry 2.
Enchantments are historic by themselves. They have to be sagas.
What?
Sorry, I'm already trying to think of how I can make this deck better.
Oh. And you said enchantments are historic by themselves?
Enchantments
They're
are
not.
not
No,
historic
they're
by
not. Okay.
themselves. They have to be sagas, is what I said. If you'd like to correct me further.
No, it was
You're
that
right.
last part that I didn't understand. I heard
Sagas are one of the 3
Yes.
historic card types.
Yes, 7.
They are
so
a-
it'll
I
cost
heard
6
enchantments
mana.
are not historic by themselves. Suckus.
Suckas.
Is what I heard.
I feel like, what's that wrestler would say that? Enchantments aren't sagas by themselves, sucker.
Yeah.
I'll recast my commander.
That's good.
They're not historic by themselves, sucker.
Alright, we can only untap one creature during our untap phase.
Pass turn.
Alright, end of your turn. Sack treasure. Get a red. Black.
When you sack, you
Life.
all suck.
I will draw a card. Each opponent loses 1 life.
Boo. Down 25.
Untap. Yeah, but I'm down to 11. I don't like that. Draw for turn.
Yeah, but now your last ride will live if you activate it.
It's true.
It's all upside, buddy. It's all. It's
Maybe
just
a
going to get
2-2.
bigger and
We
bigger.
get 2-2.
It's just going to get bigger as the game progresses. I see this as an absolute win.
One last ride.
I'll play a Soul Ring. I will. I need more options. I'll play a Demonic Tutor.
That'll get you an option.
Don't like that.
Anyone else worried he's gonna win this turn?
A little bit.
I'm not.
Could you?
I never was.
The problem here
Oh, it's because you have
might
a board
not
state.
have enough time.
If you have a board state, you can't win. You have to have 18 lands and an enchantment no one's ever heard of. And then you go, oh, I win.
It was a Mana Dork and a Hardened Scales. And then you decided to kill 3 opponents from that board state.
Yeah.
I remember. I was there.
I amend my statement. I forgot about the hardened scales. I was thinking of that, what is it, a Weatherlight enchantment? That white thing that basically you just keep cycling cards through your hand and graveyard. And
Enduring a Renewal or something like that.
Something like that.
I'm going to.
I think Nelson's checked out over here.
No, I'm not checked out. I just figured I was going to die this turn.
You put up a blocker. I would have attacked you and not Schnell if you didn't have a blocker, but you had that bird that said it doesn't have to block anything.
Burp, burp,
I didn't say it's
burp.
not going to block anything.
No, he said he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, my 0-1 bird's going to fuck you up.
That bird's gonna slash your tires.
I gave him that screwdriver.
He's gonna slash only 3 of your tires, so insurance won't cover it.
Because he's a bitch bird.
Because he's a bitch bird.
Or a bird bitch, depending how you look at it.
I'm too low life for that.
Riveting.
I know.
I'm scared.
Gonna search that half again.
Yeah, I'm searching the whole thing again.
You're not running Kefnet. We've already established this. Oh, it's someone's at the door.
It's way too expensive. So,
Did you eat my cornbread with chicken?
Slow down, Alan Jackson.
Stop eating my sesame cake, Mr. Homolga. Wait, I said it backwards. It's Mr. Homolga. Stop eating my sesame cake.
I don't know what it's from, so I can't.
Congo.
It has been a minute since I
Delroy
watched-
Lindo says it to Tim Curry, and then he just out the sesame cake.
Were you watching Congo again in regards to the 100 men versus a gorilla fight? I gotta do my studies on this subject. Congo on VHS, here we go.
Every word of it was absolutely true.
Alright, this is the one. That's my out. Alright.
I think one of my
Resolve.
favorite Tim Curry moments is him as the bad guy in McHale's Navy. When he's like, you said the military base was too close to the village, so we moved the village! He has the worst accent the whole movie, and it's so fucking great.
I think my favorite Tim Curry is in Loaded Weapon 1.5, where he dresses up as the Wilderness Girls. And he shows up at... I forgot her name. Not Oprah Winfrey. Why can't I remember him?
Whitney?
Nope. She's a comedian. She's on The View. Glasses.
Okay.
Whoopi.
Whoopi. Shows up at her house to kill her. Nice. Because she has the microphone.
6.
Get 4. Eyes on your own paper.
Yeah, no cheating.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Isn't it late to be selling cookies? We're not meeting a quota.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, he was in Command and Conquer too. He going to Spice!
I still have the...
No, I'm just
I
gonna
have
do
Command and Conquer for my Nintendo 64.
I didn't know it was ported over to 64 from PC.
It was. Man, played so much Red Alert and Tiberian stuff. Love that series.
I think I had that one. That was like Windows 95
Yeah.
era.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play
But then StarCraft came out and changed.
Terracier's Devastation.
Uh-oh.
X equals 0. I'm gonna lose 0 life and create 0 tapped Power Stone tokens. Then all creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn for each artifact I control. I control 4 artifacts.
Did you forget protection from state-based actions?
Shit!
Enters. Artifact creature you control.
So you don't want to kill his thing?
I don't want to pay the life. I wanted to, but in order to kill it, I would need to pay 2 more mana,
So every
and I would be down. Be down.
so
treasure anyway,
every
so.
creature is
Every creature gets -4/-4.
Yep. Well, I have no responses.
Everything that dies gets exiled, by the way, because Rayami's on the board.
Not my Ganax.
Not my Arbaaz mirror.
Well, they
Hashtag-
do, but then
They-
they
yeah,
change
that
it.
was-
So.
Oh, that's right. That actually does matter because of Agent of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Iron Throne.
yeah,
So
okay.
no one's going to lose the 1 life I thought they were going to lose from that, but that's okay. Got rid of everything except that big scary guy.
Move the village.
And I don't want...
This is the least Enchantress build that's ever tried to Enchantress anything.
I need to keep Nelson alive because I need my Crime Novelist to block in case he attacks me. So I'm going to pass. Shit.
You're gonna pass.
Chris, you had a super long turn that turn.
Ah.
I am pretty bad at this game.
Go ahead. I actually think I can change those times
Okay.
later.
Untap, upkeep.
Can you
nothing.
see turn by turn
Draw.
at
Yeah.
all in there? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Plains will be my land for the turn. 8 mana. Arbaaz Myrrh. Everyone takes a point. I gain 1 life.
8 mana 2/2?
8 mana, 2/2.
It's not a great rate, buddy.
You should see my other car. Go ahead, Nelson.
Alright, untap. I guess since I just paid 8 for it, might as well pay 10 for it. But first, I'm going to pay 1 to get a Soul Ring.
He's ramping. Super
1,
light
2,
ramping.
3, 4.
I put in a
1,
decent
2,
number
3.
of cards to keep him alive. And other than the 1,
5, 6,
Not working.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Cards in hand?
2.
Any of this. Okay.
Other than having slightly more life, I don't feel like I'm a threat anymore.
Get my commander back out.
Yep.
Oh, Chris.
Alright. Draw.
For effectively being on draw go, Chris took 15 minutes for one turn.
Oh, you'll have that. I will cast Crufix's Insight. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 3 enchantment cards among them into your hand and the rest of the revealed cards into your graveyard. Thrill of Possibility. Sylvan. Crystal Chimes. God. 2 enchantments. 2
Good cards, though.
Yeah.
Meltdown would have been cool. Alright, we will Fertile Ground onto a mountain that has Cascade. Because now I Cascade until I hit something that costs 1, right? I don't Cascade ever.
Enchantment, when you cast...
Cast from
yeah,
your
2?
hand to have
Yep.
Cascade. So it has to be less than 2, right?
Yep.
It's different,
Yeah.
different than Discover.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I had bought one of those when it was like 20.
I forgot it didn't have to be an enchantment. I never Cascade.
No, that's fair.
I will tap that land for the Sylvan. We'll do it again.
Sylvan Library.
Quest for Pure Flame. Whenever source you control deals damage to an opponent, put a quest counter on Quest for Pure Flame, and then you can remove 4 counters from it and sack it. If any source you control would deal damage to a creature or player this turn, it deals double that damage to that creature or player instead. So it's like a one-shot damage doubler.
That was on the list for this deck for a little while, and I'm like, for one turn, I can maybe get 3 damage up to 6.
Kill me.
It would kill you. This would be the opportune time to have that and 3 enchantment or legendary or sagas that I could flash in. Just
Yep, swing it at... Can't swing through either of those guys, so swing it now.
cool. I take it because I need my commander. That's commander damage as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Didn't you just cast that this turn? Or that was last turn.
That was last turn.
Last turn.
That's why I didn't attack Nelson.
And
Yeah.
counter on here.
Hate it. Don't like it.
Pass turn.
I don't like being within crime novelist range.
1, 2, 3, 2 life. Draw a card. Untap. Draw a card. Land for turn will be a mountain.
I realized with all these unbannings that they gave me a new card for my Apocalypse block deck. I was not expecting to get a new card for that deck.
Yeah, I suppose.
1, 2, 3,
So now I got to get
4.
a copy of one. Looked at the foils; they're about
Six.
$110.
I imagine that they didn't stay dirt cheap for.
The card's so bad though.
5, 6, 7. That's going to get me a Ganax. That's going to get me a treasure. Then sacrifice the treasure. That goes there.
We
Each
all take
opponent
1.
loses 1 life. And then a 3rd mana for a Professional Facebreaker. 2/3 Menace. Whenever one or more creatures I control deal combat damage to a player, I create a treasure token, and I can sacrifice a treasure to exile the top card of my library, and I can play that card this turn. You've got 1 white up, and I don't like that.
You
I don't
shouldn't.
like that
You should
at
be very
all.
threatened by my 1 white and 2 cards.
At all. Pass.
Excellent. On tap. I'll keep draw.
Tonight, the role of Teej will be played by Nelson. You're in your own head, sir. That card in his hand could be anything.
Yeah.
Better just hang tight.
Swiftfoot boots. Everyone takes 1. I gain 1.
Stop.
I will move to equip the boots onto my commander. I can't cast a second spell this turn. Won't cast a second spell this turn. Go ahead, Nelson.
Alright. Untap, upkeep, draw. Alright.
Getting down to the chess moves wire bit.
I'm gonna pay 4 and cast a birthing pod. And then I'm gonna pass my turn.
Alright.
1 card in hand, Nelson.
1 card in hand.
Teach 18 cards in hand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in hand.
Untap 1 creature.
I'm gonna leave this plains over here because I feel like it saved my life. So it's just gonna
Still
stay.
in. God, this is not a good spot to be paying forward. But we're gonna do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Do it.
Pay the 4 life. Go down to 11.
I almost had the other cheaty boots in this deck until I realized that Shroud prevents me from targeting my own creature to give it hexproof for indestructible for
Sure
turn.
do,
Like,
yeah.
oh, I can't. Derp.
Cast Eidolon of Blossoms. Cascade. It's gotta be less than 4.
Oh, fuck, I forgot Torbrand. I was going to pull him so I could win the game.
Soul Ring.
I will actually put a Torbrand in this deck. I believe he just +2s everything.
And a Heartless hit it too.
There it is.
Because there's your combo.
You're at 40.
Faithless Looting.
Take 22, asshole.
Oh.
I wonder what that guy's up to.
I don't know, man. She's just finding sick combos. Clearly. 6 synergies.
The only thing I miss about
He's designing commander brackets.
Game changer.
Discarding Hull Breach and Scarg the Rage Pits. One, 2, 3. We'll cast Maddening Hex, enchanting Teej. Whenever enchanted player casts a non-creature spell, roll a d6. Maddening Hex deals damage to that player equal to the result, then attach Maddening Hex to another one of your opponents chosen at random.
Ooh.
Whenever I cast a non-creature spell,
When I bonder.
you roll a d6.
Yes.
Deals damage to me equal to the result.
And then it gets randomly attached to another opponent. Is it another opponent or
Nope, it's another one of your opponents chosen at random.
Yeah.
So does that exclude you?
Yes, because it says
Yes,
another one.
another opponent. So we'll go to Schnell or Nelson.
Cascade for under 3.
He has
No,
responses.
no responses. But you want to start that off on me and not Schnell.
Yes.
Okay.
I deal 1 at a time, sometimes up to 3 in a turn.
Wild Growth.
You can do more than that.
When this enters, I draw a card from Eidolon of Blossoms.
Also, you've seen the game stats. You know he's going to kill you first anyway,
I
right?
know, he's a bully.
And I'm a pussy. I lack focus. Is that what we've established?
Fraley's wins.
You're only an inch and a half away from bullies.
I get it.
I'm pretty sure I made that joke in chat, but whatever.
Okay. Spell Shock is in
I didn't
play.
get it in chat then, apparently.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Spell shock does
2
Whenever
damage
any
every
player
time you
successfully casts a spell, they get shocked.
nice.
And Fraley's wins is also.
So Teach takes 2d6 plus 2 on a spellcast.
Whenever a permanent becomes tapped, put a wind counter on it. Now we're playing D&D.
Yeah.
D6 plus 2 damage.
Exactly.
Whenever a permanent becomes tapped, put a wind counter on it. Permanents with any wind counters on them do not untap during their controller's untap phase. Instead, remove all wind counters from those permanents. Windy stun counters.
You love that card.
This one?
Yeah.
It's really good. I think. This just seems mean, but fuck it.
Did you
But
float?
fuck it is
Did you
right.
float mana, or now
No.
you're gonna wind counter your own lands?
Yep.
Okay. Just
Absolutely. These three right here. Wind counters. Brr. Price of Glory.
Yeah! There's so many Nelson cards in this
Whenever a
deck.
player taps a land for mana during another player's turn, destroy that land. Seal of Primordium. That's turn.
Okay, so recap. Your wind thing.
Hold on a second.
What?
I gotta draw 2 cards from Eidolon Blossoms.
Okay.
And then I have a land for the turn.
Okay. Your wind thing. Whenever something gets tapped. Hold on. Whenever
What just happened?
your wind.
His land
Like,
for turn
I
was
have
Oh,
to turn this Lotus Field.
Okay.
So I sacrifice 2 lands.
Does it need to be
Okay.
tapped?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Sacrifice
Read-
2 lands.
read your
Does it
winds.
get a wind counter
Didn't
then?
you just bin
or is
3
it only
lands?
tap for mana?
What's that?
How does the wind counter thing work? Does it because
Whenever
it,
a permanent becomes tapped,
What happens?
it gets a
it
wind
gets a
counter?
wind
counter.
counter.
And what happens? And what does that mean?
It's a stun.
That means
counter.
it's a stun counter.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever a player taps a land for mana during another player's turn, destroy that land. Whenever any player successfully casts a spell book.
Yeah, so you took 4, right? Because you put the spell shock out, and then you did the winds, and then the price of glory.
No, I did the
Price
Price
of-
of Glory after this.
Okay, it was the only one after that, so you take 2. Because that hits you too.
Oh,
doesn't
I
it?
don't
Spell
want to touch
shock?
it. Yep. Yep, it does.
Okay.
Okay. And whenever I cast a non-creature spell,
So-
you roll a d6.
So if you played the winds first, then you have 3 more lands that have stun
He
counters. on
ate
them.
those lands when he played the Lotus Field.
This was
Right.
hit off of. I didn't cast this.
Oh,
it
it
was
was
cascaded
cascaded.
into.
Yep.
I see. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, wait a minute, you should have 6 lands, but no, that's right, Cascade.
Okay. And you have 9 life.
This should not get a wind counter, right? If it enters
Correct.
tapped.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Nothing. Draw for turn. Land for turn
Played
will
the wrong
be
band.
the
That's
Mycosynth
right.
Gardens.
Oh, land played. Chris, you really showed up at the end of this.
Yeah, a little bit. I kind of like this commander for this deck.
It seems
Not
pretty
20
okay.
minutes ago, he was saying this is the least Enchantress deck
Un-
that any Enchantress
most
deck has ever
Enchantress.
Enchantress. Suddenly he Chantressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Just had to complain about it.
Chantressed
apparently.
real hard.
I wish I could draw and cast 9 artifacts next turn. Wham, wham, whack. I'm on deck.
Chris, no
You heard me,
North.
right, baby? You heard me?
No.
I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to attack Chris with Ganax Astral Hunter.
Yep. I'm taking it.
Chris takes 3 commander.
Why do I always think this thing's a 4/4?
Putting him down to 6.
Do it, TH.
Whenever one or more creatures I control deal combat damage to a player, I create a treasure. I can sacrifice the treasure to exile the top card of my library and play that card this turn. I am going to... Okay, whenever I cast a non-creature spell, Chris gets a d6. Whenever I cast any spell, that thing deals 2 damage to me.
Shorked.
That would put me at 5. That's a real low life total.
It's low enough.
But he could just roll a 1.
He could just
You never
roll.
know. In fact, you could do that twice and still be alive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, statistically, you're probably fine.
Well, he won't. He'll only get the first one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So a second spell at minimum will put him down to 2.
Right. And then Chris rolls another 1.
No. There's no extra die roll because after the first die roll, this goes.
That's right.
to
That
1+.
moves. You're right.
Yeah.
I forgot that moves after.
Yeah.
See, fucking nothing to worry
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Whole lot of
Garbage cards for shit players.
Sacrifice a treasure. Everyone loses
Heck,
one.
so much. Down to 19.
I'm gonna fucking, in response, I'd like to cast it.
Do it.
2 mana.
I have a sorcery.
You'll lose your lands, take 14 damage.
That's the point, baby. Come on now.
Come on, Cletus.
No, lose anyway. Might as well go out in style.
Come on. I'm going to cast Decadent Dragon.
So,
I'm going to take 2 from that dumb thing.
What's Decadent Dragon do?
4/4 Flying Trample. When it attacks, I get a treasure.
Okay.
Dragon enters the battlefield, I get a treasure. Then I'm going to pass the turn.
Teej, you were supposed to cast.
I know what I was supposed to do.
untap.
This is why you shouldn't have put it on me.
Keep draw.
I tried to get you to divert attention over there because I'm playing creatures.
Okay, so everything deals me 2?
Yes.
Okay. And this
Oh, you were
is
spell shock, so that is a counter on quest.
cast a non-creature. Okay. Burnished Heart. I will take 2, but then I will heal 1 and you'll all take 1.
Cancel, because that damage is coming from Chris.
Okay.
So Ganax has a wind counter.
Go ahead.
Ganax has a win counter?
Yeah, whenever a permanent becomes tapped.
I thought it
Yep.
was just... Okay, I thought it was lands.
So,
No, that's fine. So
I have 3 lands with...
you have a wind, and Soul Ring has a
Winteries.
wind. And they're just stun counters, you said?
Yeah.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
If it would be untapped, you remove the wind counters instead.
Okay.
No. In fact, I'm gonna make you earn it, sir. Pass the
Oh
turn.
my god.
Chris is like, fine. Shock. Standard shock.
Yeah.
Bolt.
Fucking get him. On the plus side, if I tap my lands at the end of Tej's turn to activate my Burnished Heart, those lands just get destroyed. So
Right.
I don't have to worry about the wind counters.
That's getting around it.
That's what I call a pro gamer.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't look at the top 3 for Sylvan like I should.
Keep one.
That'd be funny.
Just the whole priority.
Ugh,
That's how you get around it.
the silly game of Magic this turned
This
into.
turned into a very silly game.
It changed like 3 different times what I thought was going to happen.
Yep.
Okay.
It's, okay, Nelson's going to run away with it.
I'll draw this
T's
one.
going to run away with it. Oh god, Chris is here. But my life total's still here. So maybe I'm not out of it.
Land for the turn.
Fascist like that one.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what to do here.
You built the fucking house. Now burn it down.
God, this is so fucked. What did I do, guys?
Really painted all of us into a corner there.
Okay,
partner.
and Burnished Heart puts the lands on the battlefield tapped so they don't become tapped, so
Yes.
no win counters for those.
Correct.
So I would lose 3 lands to get 2 lands back.
Worth it. Fucking
I mean, there's literally no downside.
stonks.
Move to combat. Schnell, 6th commander.
It's the right play.
Does it have trample?
Yes.
Okay.
Wind counter.
I accept your generous offering of 6 command damage.
That's a 4th counter on Quest for Pure Flame.
And that does what?
I can remove 4 counters and sack this. If any source I control will deal damage
It's a
to
furnace
a creature
wrath
or
for a
player
turn.
this turn, it deals double that damage to that creature or player instead.
Okay.
So I can double damage for a turn.
Don't cast a spell. He can sack it in response and kill you.
Can. Pass turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Nothing. Draw for turn. Son of a bitch.
Do you have to?
Like, I'm having a blast, but my
Do you
watch
have
is going,
to
your
let
stress
it
levels are
linger?"
currently maxed out.
Land
Oh, I
for
should have
turn.
done this on my turn. Now I can't tap my land. Stupid price of glory.
What an asshole play that card.
You built your house.
Okay.
I'll burn it down. Honestly, thinning out my deck so I just don't draw stupid lands might be the best play here.
Move to combat.
I had a creature back there. I forget. Didn't want to be a cheaty face.
Card in hand. Chris.
2.
I'm going to attack Chris for 4 flying. Whenever this attacks, I get a treasure.
Wow, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Oh, he's got answers.
We're gonna blow some lands up.
Who needs him? He's got a Lotus Field.
Not wrong.
Never mind.
10 for 3. Oh, beast within the flare.
So you're going to lose 2 life from that thing?
Yep.
You should, in response, you should. Oh wait, that's opponents. Never mind.
That's
No, it's cards he does, right? No, it would
No.
hit everybody.
No,
Wouldn't it?
it's done. It's dead. I tapped it during his turn. It's
No, I'm
gone.
saying the quest for Pure Flame. You could do that and take yourself out if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, I could.
Okay.
If you really wanted to fuck with Tej.
Second dragon will die. I will get a beast token.
It's exiled because Rayami's on the field.
Shit, that thing.
It just has flying, right?
God
Does
damn
that
it.
change your
Okay.
decision?
Well, it doesn't change my decision so much as
poop butt. Yeah.
I'm going to
Never mind.
sacrifice treasure.
We all take one?
We all take one.
God damn it.
All opponents.
Hold on.
Okay.
Is there anything I can do? No, I can't even do this anytime you do a sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really... Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Then this will die. I will get a beast. Creature died. Each opponent loses 1. Give me my beast.
What is what's killing me?
Agent of Iron Throne.
Um,
Triggers on the stack.
yeah, I can pop that with my seal.
Triggers on the
The
stack.
trigger's on the
Right.
stack, so
Yeah.
it'll still resolve.
Yeah, you'll still lose. You can still get rid of it if you want to save poor Schnell, the underdog.
It doesn't matter. I'll just die.
All right. There.
Okay.
Go away. Schnell, we are safe.
Fair.
Safe for another day with my 4 and your 10.
I like it.
Second main.
This game's about to go on for another hour.
I sincerely hope not.
Second main, pass turn.
Before the end of your turn.
No boy.
Yep.
Price of Glory's gone. Here we go, boys.
Yep. So,
spells.
Furnished Heart, I'm going to tap, pay 3, and sack it. Oh, these wind counters remain, though, right?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So I'm going to get 2 basics on the battlefield tapped. I'm going to get that one, and I'm going to get that one.
You destroyed, so I don't get a treasure
Oh,
from that guy.
I should have done that in response. Why am I so bad at this game?
Teach cut me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm also going to flash in Celestial Armor. When it enters the battlefield, you'll lose 1 and I'll gain 1. And when it has flash, when this equipment enters, Attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof and indestructible till the end of the turn. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and flying.
Okay, I have a response to that.
Oh, okay.
Tools trickery.
You're countering it?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
That's a 3.
Okay, so
mill 3.
I mill 3 and
Yep.
then I exile or start exiling.
Yep.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I get that instead.
Yes.
Okay, you'll lose 1 and I'll gain 1. Off at entry.
Yeah. All opponents, because that's what we've been doing.
Yep.
You gain 1.
Okay.
3.
It literally comes down to top decking now, because I was going to swing at you for 4 flying for the win. And
I know what you were going to do.
That's why you stopped me. Untap. Remove win counters. Upkeep. Nothing. Draw. Damn it. I think I lose. So. Can I do anything? Nope. Go ahead, teach. Why wouldn't you just let me win?
Okay.
We'll fix it in
Untap.
post. Or we won't. Who cares?
Turn count's accurate.
Ah,
I just didn't hit the button. I honestly thought I did. I think I just might have pushed.
Gotcha.
Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Land for turn is a Vault of Whispers.
High school choir. Keep in mind, I can't take non-combat damage to other creatures anymore.
What?
And I have
prevent
expert.
all non-combat.
It's just a
that may go to other creatures you control.
Yeah.
You have hexproof.
I'm proof of hexed. This was one of those. I found this card while looking for other cards and went, that's not bad.
I'm going to sacrifice a treasure
Yep.
to exile the top card of my library. You
Go down to 10.
go down to 10. Fucking luxury suite. Already played a land. I'm going to move to combat.
Okay.
You have no flying, but you have a shit ton of untapped mana
And 2 cards.
and 2 cards. I'm going to attack you with Ganax.
3 flying.
3 flying.
No blocks. Because I've only taken 3 commander damage from Ganax so far, right?
Oh, there's motion at my backyard. My brother-in-laws must be leaving.
Wow.
Gross.
That's a story for a different podcast.
Yeah.
Down to 7. I get a treasure. Second main, I will sacrifice that treasure.
I go down to 6.
You should be up to 6. No, you shouldn't. You should be up to 5. I didn't mark that one.
Okay.
Exile Rakdos Signet. It's an artifact. One there, one here. We'll cast that Rakdos Signet.
I'm going to Lapse of Certainty that. Counter target spell. You know what it does. You Lapse of Certainty me all the time.
That is okay.
I figured.
I'm going to
Get him. No? Is that not what you're going to do?
pay 2 for a Smuggler's Copter.
Thop.
I'm going to pay 2 for an unlicensed hearse.
Oofda.
I'm going to pass the turn.
Before the end of your turn,
Yeah.
I'm gonna Angel's Grace. In a split second, I can't lose the game this turn, and you can't win the game. Any damage that would deal me or reduce me to less than 1 puts me to 1.
Okay.
It's my second spell, so I'm gonna Pyromancer Assault your face. It has split second.
Yep. Hairs. Yeah, fuck you.
Okay. Again, it's still a can I draw something that you can't counter?
Yep.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. I'm going to expedite my Crystal Barricade. It gains haste, and I get to draw a card.
I respond. Do I have a response? You're gonna get a second spell anyway. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to cast my second spell, cast trigger, dealing you 2. If it will resolve and enter the battlefield, it will deal you another 1. And then I will also get a Thopter, and the Thopter doesn't trigger anything else because this is non-token historics anyway. Did I do good, Coach?
Very good.
Well, he's still mulling over.
Nothing's over. It's pretty much over.
Okay.
You are at 6. I can't do you any damage. God damn it. I'm so close. Don't stop. Whenever an artifact or creature I control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life. I can't sack anything at instant speed.
Cool.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, thank you.
I was so close to closing out this game, but I just couldn't draw enough relevant things. For a treasure deck, I did not see a whole lot of treasure production this game. Which was kind of frustrating near the end because a bunch of treasures would have allowed me just to ping Schnell out there at the very end. It was a real back and forth game between all of us. At any given point, we were all the threats. Nelson had a slower start than the rest of us. Chris kind of held back a little bit and then exploded there right near the end, putting out a bunch of enchantments that were really hindering all of us. And Schnell had the best start by far with his 2-mana commander that's going to ping us all every time he plays an artifact. And we know how that boy loves his artifacts. Honestly, at the end of the game, I forgot about his, when he casts a second spell, do 2 damage to me. I was really hoping to hang on there for 1 more turn, because I think I would have had it if I had just 1 more turn. And I didn't have an out, so my biggest thing for my own performance tonight was when I played that Demonic Tutor. Usually if I play a card like that, I know exactly what I want to search for, and I knew exactly what I wanted to search for at the time, but I looked through my library 1 more time before finalizing it, and I found that board wipe, that something devastation, which if I could have taken out every creature except my crime novelist, I would have, but in order to do that, I would have needed to sacrifice treasure, and then I would have been 1 artifact short. Then I would have had to pay more mana into it, so mathematically, I don't think I could have bumped that number from 4 up to 6. So I wiped out everything that I could, and I think that was the right call in the end, because it took everything Schnell had off, it took Nelson's commander off, and at a certain point I was watching those 2 commanders, because they were both playing their commanders whenever they possibly could, and those taxes kept going up and up and up. So at a certain point I was like, if I could just tax them out where they can't play those anymore, that'd be pretty cool. In the end, it was really honestly down to the wire, and Schnell had a great deck where he started hitting all of us 1 damage each for every artifact he played, and that really put him in a very commanding position that proved very difficult to get him out of. 2 cards I want to bring attention to tonight. The first one is the Scavenger Regent. This is the new card I put in from Tarkir Dragonstorm. I really like this card. I like the Omen mechanic, where you play the Omen part and then shuffle the card back into your library. The Omen is Exude Toxin. It's just another board wipe. It's 2 black and X, and each non-dragon creature gets -X until end of turn. Just fits right in. It's a board wipe, which we need every once in a while. And it's a dragon which Ganax triggers when other dragons come into play, and I get treasure tokens. So a lot of the creatures I have in the deck clearly are dragons just to up that treasure count. So finding another dragon, a modal card, not a real modal card, but a you know what I mean. Where half of it is a very useful effect and the other half is a dragon, just another body to put out there, an incidental treasure. It seemed like a real good fit for this deck. But my MVP tonight has got to be the Crime Novelist. Crime Novelist really put in a lot of work tonight. By the end, I think it was up to 6, 12, 18. I think it was a 19, 22, whatever that math works out to. It had 18 plus encounters on it. It is a big, scary creature, and once the creature totals on the board got low enough, I did want to start attacking with it, but Schnell was playing white, and he had that white mana up. Whether or not he had an answer in hand, I don't know. That wasn't the point. The point was if I didn't direct my ire at Schnell, and I threw it around at everybody else, maybe he would let it live. But then Chris got his commander out, which was a 6/6, and that scared me. Nelson had his commander out, which had whatever keywords he made up on it, which also scared me. So quite honestly, Crime Novelist did pretty well just holding back, playing defense, and that was okay. The sacrificing 1 treasure for essentially 2 mana, thanks to the Crime Novelist, proved really useful in this deck. And as soon as I stuck both Ganax and Agent of the Iron Throne on the battlefield, every time I sacrifice an artifact, a treasure, it's hitting everyone. So really slow game, but a similar game to what Schnell was doing. Like I said, I didn't see a lot of treasure early on in the game, which really put me behind, but I did see a lot of really useful things like that Bolus Citadel. Really wish I kept that around longer than I did, but luckily when it got time for it to be removed, I was in a position to at the very least hit everyone for 10 for their insolence. So overall, it was a fantastic game. It was another one where I have everyone on the ropes. I can't close it out myself. I lost once again to Schnell, but luckily it was a duel between the 2 of us, and not just Schnell going, no flyers, 1 damage, I win.
I was pleasantly surprised with how this deck operated once the commander was able to stick around for a turn or 2. This is a deck that was always a little fun to run. I would bring it out every once in a while, but this commander change for it, it kind of has inspired me to want to go through this entire list and now rebuild the deck around this commander. As solid as Klothys is, Klothys might just go in the 99 of a Wildsear deck going forward, and I might pay a little more attention to kind of like what the mana curve of the deck looks like, kind of maximize some of this cascading ability. Cascade is not something I've done a lot in the game. I had to lean on the other guys in the pot a little bit just to remember exactly how cascading works. It's just literally nothing I've ever done before. But it The ability really allowed my deck to take kind of a nothing burger board state into something that really put the clamps on how everybody else in the pod was able to function in the span of one turn. It was a ton of fun, and I'm really looking forward to going through this deck with a fine-tooth comb and adjusting it just to maximize the Wildsear's triggered ability going forward, and I'll be bringing this back pretty quick. Schnell had a fantastic start with his new deck, and it was it didn't look like it was going to be much, but damn did those points of life really add up. And not just the damage that we were taking, the points of life he was gaining was ultimately what kept him out of harm's reach at the end of the game. That's solidly why he won the game, was the incidental life gain there, or incremental. Well, I guess they both work. It was incidental incremental life gain, and it proved to be the difference for him. That deck, there was nothing like broken. There was like nothing game changing about anything he did. The cards individually were relatively weak, but it's just trigger, 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 and it just added up, and it turned out to be a machine. Having commander that only cost 2 mana made it pretty economical to cast repeatedly. So that was just an effect he always had access to, and very similar to a Dina deck that I have. She also costs 2 mana, comes down early, starts slicing and dicing your opponent's life totals, and this deck functioned very much the same way. Tej's deck, I thought he was going to really run away with this there for a while. The whole game, like at one point or another, everybody looked like they were going to win. Nelson's commander was absolutely terrifying early. That thing having protection from multicolored and then indestructible, and then like it's just Rayami can just turn into such a monster so fast. He was only in a position to be able to attack a couple times, but I was worried at any given point that he was just going to swing through, because I had no ability to block the thing. And so when you're at 15 and there's a 5 power unblockable indestructible commander looking across the board from you, I just genuinely thought everybody was going to win this at one point or another. The life totals were very close right down to the end. This was a great game. It really was. Nobody sat out too long. I kind of like to endeavor to have more games like this in the future.
So I brought my Rayami deck back tonight, and one of the things that, after I remembered what cards are in it and how it plays, like 20 minutes into the game, one of the things that became very clear to me is one of the reasons I play it so rarely is that the deck, I don't know how to put it, like becomes stale, I guess. Like it's kind of a Voltron-y strategy, right? Because really what you want to do is destroy any creatures with keywords while she's on the board, so that she takes those keywords for herself and then, becomes this big bad mean, killing machine. And so it's essentially a Voltron strategy without trying to, equip her with a bunch of auras and equipments and things like that. I don't think there's any auras in the deck. There are a few equipments, a couple of the swords and things like that. I think a pair of boots maybe. But it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of boring. The way, what I mean by that is that there's not a lot of variance game to game. Sure, there might be variance based on what creatures I'm hitting when, but the lines of play are always the same, and there's not really anything that branches. And I think that's because of what she wants to do and the way that, it makes sense to build around her. So, I was trying to think, like, if there are other Sultai commanders I've been wanting to build. I had messed around with the Mothman from the Fallout set. Way back when, I had a Zaxara deck that was also Sultai, so maybe I'll revisit Zaxara, the Hydra that wants all the X spells, or maybe I'll go in a different direction, but I think it might be time to kind of just take this deck apart. It's just, I guess it kind of like lost its luster. It's not as fun to play. So, that being said, I did get off to a little bit of a slow start, and one of the issues too with this deck is that if you don't draw into the right cards to start feeding your hand, then it's just like draw a card, maybe play a card or two, pass the turn, and it gets very repetitive, and it's hard to draw into certain answers. If I didn't have the Toxic Deluge, I think I would have been in a lot more trouble way more early. So I did get lucky that I drew that relatively early on in the game. But I thought that the decks that I played against tonight, Chris made a joke, I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes into the game maybe, about how, wow, for an Enchantress deck, this deck's really not doing enchantment things. And then, he popped off at the end, and I really thought that he might be able to find a way to kind of wiggle into the win there. We've all seen before what Ganax can do, and, I thought it was going to be a lot worse for us when Tej played the Demonic Tutor. But lucky for us, we were able to, kind of keep going. I had in my opening hand, I had the Crozen Grip, and then later on, I drew into the Beast Within. And when he played the Bolas' Citadel, I was afraid that if it wasn't answered relatively soon, then he was probably going to find some way to, stumble into some sort of combo or synergy piece that was really going to be painful for us. So I felt like I did what needed to be done. I did kind of forget about the fact that, he had plenty of permanents to sack it, and then or sack 10 artifacts, or it doesn't have to sack itself. I think it's sack 10 permanents, and it deals 10 damage to all your opponents. Kind of forgot about that. So glad I did it when I did. Not that I held on a little bit longer and accidentally, took myself out of the game by doing it. But I felt like that. And the, God, what was it? What was the enchantment Chris had? Opportunity or, no, not opportunity. Huh? Chris, what was your enchantment?
Which one?
The one that I blew up. That gave us extra mana but made
Overabundance.
Overabundance. Thank you. That's the one. I liked what it was going to do for us, but having to take all that extra damage just from tapping my lands when I knew Schnell was going to be dropping, 1, 2, 3 drop historical cards, be they artifacts or whatever, and then have to take a bunch of paper cuts that way, it was just not sustainable. I could not find anything in my deck that has lifelink that was going to let Rayami start to get me some life back. Had I been able to find something at some point that would have given me lifelink, it may have been a different story, but I just was unable to get there. So really thought the way Schnell's deck played was excellent. That was like the way I would play a black and white deck, but it was Boros colors. It was really cool. I thought that thing just fucking hummed. There's some really neat stuff in there, and I thought everybody played well. Thought it was a real swingy game. It was a lot of fun. It was more of an aggressive game at times, and yeah, I had a blast. Even though I would say that this deck may be my least favorite or least fun to play out of decks that I currently have built. So I think it's maybe time to pull it apart, find some different homes for some of the pieces that are in it, and see what we come back with next, and go that way. But yeah, I had a ton of fun, and it was a great game, and I don't know, it was good to play Magic tonight. I needed that.
I built Arbaaz Myr this week after I decided I wanted to build I started top-down deck construction with, I wanted a commander that was 1 or 2 mana and had the word whenever. And I looked at him, and Arbaaz qualified with whenever he or another non-token historic permanent enters, something happens. So after deciding I wanted to run him, I found every single artifact that I owned and felt like I could slot into the deck that I could play for cheap, and then either its ETB was draw a card, which aren't that many, or it had a sack effect that involved drawing a card so that I could kind of chain through as many as I could. That was the main idea of the deck, and then I realized that mathematically I'm never going to win that way, so I needed to find additional ways to pump out a little bit of extra damage, or keep myself alive, or do other stuff. In the end, my MVP is the Pyromancer's Assault, just because not only did it get me the absolute win at the very end there, it allowed me more targeted removal, even in shocks, but reusable, because again, I have 19 artifacts in the deck that allow me to play something for 1, pay about 1, maybe 2, and then draw another card. And as the game goes on, and I have 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, nearing endgame, I should be able to chain a couple of those together, so every round dealing 5 points of damage, it doesn't take much, especially when my opponents are actually playing the game and hurting each other here and there. But yeah, overall, I thought early game, Nelson with the 0-drop Worm Coil engine, not Worm Coil engine, Stone Coil. That is just a really good play in that deck. I can see dropping it for 0, I can see waiting a turn and dropping it as a big creature and then waiting for it to die, and then the commander gets the ability. But overall, that one is just the commander is a powerhouse. It needs to show up, and it messes with a lot of deck lines of play when people aren't having creatures hit their graveyard. That can be something that people tend to interact with a lot. We saw Chris had an entire turn that had to be undone because he tried to bring back creatures that weren't in the graveyard anymore. So we had a bit of a whoopsie scoopsie there, but we fixed that one. But yeah, just having that static ability that can affect your opponents as much as it does help you is such a cool thing to tack onto a creature. Chris's red-green Enchantress, I guess, maybe, because it was, it's not your typical green-white. So it's the Enchant Bro version of it. Very aggressive, threw out a ton of damage, and it was all self-inflicted at the end, which is more annoying to deal with because you are limiting your opponent's choices. That price of progress really had me like tapping the brakes near the end of the game because I needed to stay alive enough to survive Tej's turn and then find a way to close things out myself. Which brings us to Tej, who had, I would say, mechanically a similar deck because he was relying on artifacts coming and going to deal or to ping everyone across the board. That stupid goblin, the crime novelist, he was absolutely right. Massive threat. Not only is that a good utility creature for floating mana every time you eat a treasure, so you can basically double your production there, but the fact that it was so big that I had to keep defenders up and I didn't have enough to actually keep me going. It really came down to he had the better board state, better position. I top decked exactly what I needed to. Actually, my MVP also be the Expedite, because as I was goldfishing this deck after I sleeved it this afternoon, Expedite was on the probably going to cut it list until I found something better. And I figured, late game, it's a decent cantrip. It doesn't give me any effects off of Arbaaz, but a creature gaining haste until the end of the turn. Maybe late game I drop like one of the two like big creatures in there and I hope to swing with it. But replacing itself was huge. I never anticipated that it would be comboed with the Pyromancer's Assault to close out the game. So yeah, this one was fun. I never felt like I had a solid grasp on the game. I was just going to be annoying. I was convinced Nelson was going to get it early, then I thought Tej was going to win, and then I was sure Chris was going to win, and then back to Tej, and finally me. So in the end, we got there. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to check out other videos, and have a good one.